A warm welcome to today's LEITWOLF Leadership Podcast, your podcast for leading with impact. My name is Stefan. I am your podcast host, and I'm grateful you have invested time today to join this call. Today, we are talking about one of the hardest tasks any leader can face: letting someone go. It's uncomfortable, it's painful, and yet it's sometimes necessary for the health of the company, for the team, and sometimes even positive for the person affected. Maybe your company is going through a merger, and what used to be two separate roles in two separate companies is now merged into one role in one company, and one employee loses her or his job as a consequence. Maybe there is a sustained performance issue that, despite repeated, clear, helpful feedback and targeted coaching, could not be closed. Maybe there is a culture fit issue or even repeated, sustained toxic behavior that you cannot tolerate. And then a separation may be inevitable and the right thing to do. The question is, how can you as a leader handle this moment with both clarity and humanity? Today, I'll share with you some of the key challenges that leaders face when letting someone go. And based on about 35 years of management and leadership experience, my best tips for you on how to do it effectively and well. Let's first talk about the challenges that this moment can bring. The first one may be your own emotions. I've yet to find anyone who loves letting someone go. Most people don't like it. Most people are a bit or even quite emotional themselves. You may feel guilt. You may feel pity, sadness, or even fear of the situation. If you don't have your own emotions under control, they will show, and they will confuse your partner, yourself, and the whole conversation. Another challenge in these moments can be a balance, one of the many balances you need to strike as a good leader, the balance between clarity and empathy. Leaders often then fall into at least one of two traps: the axe or cotton candy. The axe first. Some are just too blunt. I vividly remember having a conversation with a former program participant of ours who was let go by his former employer by a conversation that I didn't find particularly respectful, right? He runs a 2 days meeting with a dozen people. His boss is there and observes the conversation. He sees that leader run the meeting and apparently very successfully, to then just ask, by the way, do you still have 3 minutes after the conversation? And of course, yes is the answer. And then once everyone had left the room, they are all out of the room back to their hotels. The message is very short, saying, look, thank you very much for this good performance. This was your last one. You are no longer needed here in this company, right? You may want to go and see HR for the next steps. Thank you and goodbye. Basically, that was it. Yeah? So that, of course, can feel like the axe on the receiving end of it. So that's a little bit blunt, I think, focusing only on the rational, functional business side, like wielding an axe. Yet others on the other end of the spectrum are softening the blow so much that the message can become blurred, like cotton candy. The receiving party may hear a subtle indication of a potential for improvement with some intentionality, but far from hearing the message that they are let go, right? So there is a hardcore, a tough message hidden in a lot of fluff, in a cloud of fluff. That again isn't helpful either, right? Because the intent is to send a clear message and the effect is just a subtle hint. Neither of those two approaches help anyone. Particularly, they do not help the person in front of you. So that's the second challenge. And a potential third challenge I saw in my experience, is the ripple effect on your entire team. A dismissal is never just a one-to-one event. The entire team observes how you handle it. If you do it poorly, trust suffers far beyond the one person affected. And on the other hand, if you do a really good job in this uncomfortable moment, again, the respect you show will ripple through your team, maybe through your entire company. So how you handle dismissals shapes the company culture. It's one of the foremost culture shaping moments I've ever seen in my entire career. First, recruitment and onboarding. I just come from a conversation with a leader who I really admire, and he just onboards into a new company, and he is so glad, he is so happy. Yeah? If you're listening now, you know I'm talking to you. Regards going out. So onboarding. Second is feedback. Feedback moments shape culture. 3, promotion. Who is promoted and why? And 4, separations or dismissals. They all shape your company culture. So if you do this well, it can have a huge influence on your company culture. That is, by the way, also why I find it so incredibly important that clear feedback is given and received regularly. Particularly a dismissal should never come as a surprise. You ensure this by regularly giving your employees clear feedback about where they are, where they stand, how well they do, or how not so well their performance and results match the goals and expectations. A dismissal should never come as a surprise. Now, let's do a quick poll. All you need to do is one click. Please participate. In your company, do dismissals come as a surprise? Yes or no? Please take one moment for one click in the poll in the attachment. Now, a few practical tips for letting employees go. Tip 1. Prepare thoroughly and create clarity. Don't improvise this conversation. Plan it thoroughly and plan what exactly you say in 1 or 2 clear sentences. Be precise, respectful, and direct. Maybe I can share a hypothetical example. Quote, I have to inform you today that we are ending your employment as of date X. Unquote. This is one sentence. The sentence is clear. It may be uncomfortable and hopefully not a surprise, but it's unmistakably clear. And that's what the beginning of the conversation needs to be all about. Be clear. Clarity first, then explain. I think the explaining why is important as well. All too often, it's either forgotten or overheard. I think for the learning of the employee, it's incredibly important to understand why. Am I losing my job because of a merger and we couldn't find another place for me? Is it because of a sustained performance issue or because of a culture issue? What is it? So I can learn from it, right? So clarity first and then explanation. Tip 2, be human. Show empathy. We are not leading machines. We are leading human beings. And particularly in the moment of separation, this is important to remember and important to demonstrate. After clarity, comes empathy. Recognize the human being in front of you. Give space for true emotions, for reactions. There may be emotion, there may be tears, there may be silence, but give space for reactions. Listen genuinely with all your senses. Give the other person the feeling that you're feeling with her and understanding her or him. Don't argue. Show that you care about the person, even if you can't and won't change the decision. So tip 2, be human. Show empathy. And tip 3, end with dignity and support the transition. You may want to consider creating a dignified moment of farewell. For example, with an announcement, or even a small occasion, in the morning, at lunch, or even for a special little dinner. Genuinely and authentically acknowledge the contribution of the departing employee. Let that employee hear about the value she or he created for your business. Let the employee hear and feel the bonds, the value, the trust the person has earned from the other people. And let that employee feel you're genuine, you're serious. That will stay with these people for a long, long time. And that also shapes the culture in the company you are in. It shapes the culture with the people who stay, who are also an important target audience for your communication. Then offer concrete help. References, career advice, placement programs, in-placement support, executive coaching to answer the question, what do I want? Maybe the employee would like to change her or his career after this termination. This shows you're not just cutting ties or cutting a role and cutting cost. You're helping a human to create a new beginning. The departing employee may be very grateful, maybe not even immediately, but in the time after. And your team will notice this too. In summary, I have 3 tips for letting people go. 1. Prepare thoroughly and create clarity. 2. Be human. Show empathy. And 3. End with dignity and support the transition. Letting someone go will never feel easy, and it shouldn't. But as a leader, you owe your people 2 things. Clarity in the message, in the what, and humanity in the delivery, in the how. So here is your LEITWOLF challenge of the week. If you face the situation soon, prepare 1 sentence of clear truth and 1 gesture of genuine empathy. That balance will carry you through the conversation that you lead. And it might also carry the employee through the conversation, the person who is going to leave. Thank you for listening to the LEITWOLF Podcast. I hope you got value from investing your time today. It's been a pleasure. If you found this episode helpful, then please share it with your colleagues who might face the same challenge. Leave us a star rating, leave us a reference, and as always, lead with courage and lead with clarity, with courage and with care. Thank you for listening and see you soon. Your Stefan.